Here's why we gave Cronos: The New Dawn 4 stars. As a survival horror, Cronos is rather unremarkable. There was never an instance during my playthrough where I was wowed by the gameplay being served up, but this isn't necessarily a bad thing. As unremarkable as the gameplay often is, Cronos nails the survival horror fundamentals so competently that it's hard to find fault in it. Thankfully, while Cronos' gameplay didn't particularly capture me, I couldn't feel more differently about the game's story and world, both of which are fantastically presented. Early on, Cronos plays fast and loose with its story, telling you almost nothing about your mission or the reasons for it, leaving you to piece together crumbs of lore from letters, notes, posters and more that litter the world. In a world in which you're almost completely alone, grappling with demons both internal and external, Cronos' approach to world building works wonders. I often found myself going out of my way to explore, simply to experience more of New Dawn and its inhabitants' slow march towards their deaths. As you near the final hours, Cronos reaches its peak on all fronts. The linear levels give way to dense, winding labyrinths, while the hitherto jumbled story elements begin to align, coalescing into a tale with real depth and moral conflict. Sadly, as I reached the very final area, a bugged door prevented me from reaching the game's ending. Too close to embargo to remedy, this review comes with the caveat of having finished perhaps 99% of the game, though that missing 1% is significant. And that brings me on to my biggest issue with Cronos, at least as a PC player, and unfortunately it's quite a big one. Cronos, frustratingly, is another below-par UE5 title. I don't have a supercomputer by any means, but it was powerful enough to run Expedition 33 on high settings at a stable 60 FPS. During my early few hours in Cronos, spent entirely on the lowest possible settings, I was lucky if I crawled above 30 FPS, and at one point dropped as low as 17 frames per second. Thankfully, a patch appears to have resolved this for the most part, allowing me to run the game on higher settings at a higher frame rate, but it's far from stable. I'm still bouncing between 40 to 60 FPS every few seconds, so while this is a huge improvement, it's far from perfect. For that reason, my 4 stars comes with a disclaimer. If you're a PC player whose build is similarly struggling with recent UE5 titles, I would highly recommend either opting for a console version or simply waiting until the PC performance is sorted out. With all that being said, however, Cronos is a wonderful experience and a real must-play for fans of the survival horror genre. While it may draw heavy inspiration for its gameplay from its forebearers, in its tone and presentation it pushes survival horror forward in entirely new ways. If Silent Hill 2 was the adrenaline shot that brought Bloober team roaring into life, Cronos: The New Dawn is the solid, ironclad follow-up that shows that this studio is far from a one-hit wonder, but a bona fide horror powerhouse. To check out the full review, head to radiotimes.com.